Hey, I'm glad that you've managed to join us today, and hopefully we've got people watching on our YouTube channel, on our Facebook channel, and also on our Instagram channel. So give us a wave, tell us where you're watching for, because it's always great to know that if you are watching, if you want to like and share the page, that's absolutely great for us. And if you are watching on replay, please do add the hashtag replay. So we're going to be talking about extended rear facing seats today. But before we talk about that, let's talk about the weekend. So for some of you, this is going to be your first Mother's Day. Is it going to be very special? Are you going to be making Mother's Day special for your mothers? Let us know what your plans are for Mother's Day. We'd love to be able to share it. Good morning, Suzanne. She's one of our top followers. Thank you for watching again today and joining us. And thank you to all of you who have joined in this morning, because it's a really, really important topic that we're going to cover today. We did a live a couple of weeks ago when we talked about second stage car seats, and we really didn't have enough time to go into enough detail really about extended rear facing, which is a very, very important topic. So yeah, do ping us your messages if you've got any specific questions. I have got a range of our extended rear facing car seats out today. We've got several car seats from our friends at AxeKid, and we've got a couple of car seats from Be Safe as well to cover. So if you've got any specific questions, do let us know and we'll try and answer them. I'm going to talk about the new AxeKid 1, which is quite exciting, but we are here to talk about extended rear facing in general. So say if you do have any questions, and I know that sometimes people are very confused about the safety of extended rear facing, and they're worried that their children won't like it. So if you've got any questions, do send them across to us. And say, don't forget to tell us what you're doing for Mother's Day. Susan, you can tell us what you're going to be doing for Mother's Day. Have you got anything planned? Anyway, do let us know. Zoe, what you're doing for Mother's Day? You're going to see your mum? Oh no, can you see your mum now?
Well, I can't
remember what. I'm so confused about what we can do. Can we go for a socially distant walk? My mum lives miles away, so I can't travel to see her yet, which is obviously a shame.
I will drop a bottle of pink gin to her door and then run away.
She's watching this. It's not going to be a surprise, is it? Yeah, so I don't know. I'm hoping that I might not have to cook dinner this week. That might be quite nice for me for a change, but we'll see. Socially distanced walks, I think, are coming up as an order of the day. But yeah, it's still a weird one, but we do need to keep everyone safe. So part of the reason that we're doing these lives is obviously because you can't currently come into store. We are setting up appointments from the 12th of April. These will be personal shopping appointments. You will have to make an appointment to come into store. You won't be able to just turn up, and you will have the attention of one of our personal shoppers, and there will be a limited number of people in the store at any one time. So do message us if you'd like to set one of those up. So let's talk more about extended rear facing. Extended rear facing basically means that you keep your child rear facing for longer. Now, we've done extended rear facing car seats here at Baby Lady for years. I mean, years and years we've had extended rear facing car seats. I mean, way more than 10 years, when they were so unpopular that people looked at me and thought I was absolutely crackers. And they would say things like, oh yeah, but my child won't like it. So that's a really good thing that some people say is my child won't like it. Your child doesn't know any different. We know, and the Swedish are far ahead of the game, which is why obviously we're featuring Swedish car seats today. They're way ahead of the game in terms of child safety with this. They actually banned children traveling in a forward-facing position many years ago. You couldn't actually travel with a child under 4 years old in a forward-facing position. I think we have got people from car seat companies match, but at least 10 years ago, they actually banned it. It was, and ever since then, you could not travel in Sweden with a child in a forward-facing position. And this is because it's actually 5 times safer to have your child rearward-facing in the event of an accident, because the force in an accident is then put back into the back of the seat. I'm going to come around here to the back of the seat. In an accident, the G-force and the impact is actually absorbed into the back of the seat and not into your child being thrown forward. And that's why it's so important to think about this, and particularly when your child is not very old and their neck muscles are still not very developed. That's why we have all these statistics. So these are all just extended rear facing car seats, so they will only be used rear facing. You can't turn these round. Some of the ones that we featured the other day, and we do have some that can be rotated. These are all designed to be at the absolute cutting edge in terms of safety, and they will only fit in the rearward facing position. That's what they're designed to do. So the AxeKid One is fairly new to the range, and it is quite a groundbreaking car seat. So we thought we would talk about this, and we have recorded a separate video. It's very hard to show you in a live exactly how this works in detail, because we need to zoom in. So if you do want to watch in more detail, do check out the recorded video that will go up later today onto our YouTube channel, where we actually post a lot of these videos, and pretty much I think videos of most of these car seats now and how to fit them both in store and in the back of the car are on our YouTube channel. But the beauty of this car seat, it really is fantastically easy. Up until now, and I've sold rearward facing for a very long time. I can't even remember how long. Generally, rearward facing car seats are very heavy. They tend to be a little bit more difficult to fit, in terms of you have to be a little bit more careful when you're fitting them to make sure they're fitted correctly. And generally, and it is a generalization, they may not be quite so easy to move from car to car. This one just breaks all the rules of this. This is just fantastic. For a start, it's incredibly light. I mean, I've got a back problem and I really do struggle lifting. This is only 10 kilos. Most of the other car seats that we have in this category would be probably, I don't know, 12, 15, 16 kilos. Certainly very heavy in comparison. And it just makes it so much easier to be portable. The other thing about this is it has isofix. Now, generally with isofix points, you can only use the seat rearward facing up until 18 kilograms. And that's because isofix up until then has only been approved for 18 kilograms seats. This is the first one that's been approved to use for a child up to 23 kilograms. So that in itself is groundbreaking. This seat itself, the AxeKid One, can be used from about 4 months, certainly 60 centimeters up to 125 centimeters, approximately 23 kilograms. So this is a first for an isofix seat. There is also an AxeKid One Plus, which we haven't got here today, that you can use from birth. So if you've got any questions about that, do let me know. It's tested phenomenally safely. All of these seats have been tested to what we call Swedish Plus test. Now, people often ask, what is Swedish Plus testing? It is very complicated. I actually did a lot of research on this last night because I wanted to try and have all the answers for you today. Basically, to try and sum it up, a Swedish Plus test has been developed by a person in Sweden, because they recognised the injuries that were happening to children for upper body, neck and spine. And they wanted to try and reduce those injuries. So basically, they devised a test that is incredibly hard to pass. That means that car seats are tested at higher speeds, 56 miles an hour typically, but they're also tested for shorter stopping distances, which would replicate emergency stops. And this puts a lot more G-force onto the child's upper body and stress. And in some cases, when they've crash tested seats, none of these seats, but some seats that have been for Swedish Plus test have actually been destroyed in the test. That is how vigorous the test is to pass. So it's safe to say that any car seat that you're buying that's Swedish Plus tested is going to have gone through supremely vigorous tests to pass in the first place. And only the elite seats will pass. And this one has, but it is the first to pass both I-size and Swedish Plus tested, and also the R129 as well. And it obviously goes to a bigger child. So it's a brilliant seat. It's super easy to fit, really easy to fit. And there are even numbers on each piece that you have to do to make it super easy. So I'm going to quickly run through the fitting on it. But as I say, do look at the video. To fit it, you pop your leg into the down position. And then on this bar here, this has got a sprung-loaded rebound bar. We don't like to sell extended rear-facing seats without rebound bars. Generally, most of us will have them. Some of them don't because they're plus tested. But this has got a rebound bar. You move it backwards and literally you just click your isofix in. It is so easy to do. So easy. And then your bar will come back into your seat. I don't know if I turn this around, you can see it a little bit better. And then to fit it, you twist this button until it really clicks. Now, I put hand cream on before I did this, which was a big mistake because now my hands are slipping. There you go. So it clicks. There you go. So it clicks, and it clicks quite loudly. You probably can't hear this on the video because we're a bit of a way away. So that will click. And then when we've done this, and this is button 4, then what we do is we make sure that our leg is fitted to the base of the car like that. And there are green indicators. Obviously, you can't see on this video. We'll do the close-ups on the other video. You can see all of the indicators. Make sure that this is all fitted correctly and super, super safe. Also on this model, lots and lots of very, very clever features. It has a recline in it, which actually reclines in its own axis. There are, on the side, there are guides to where you should use this in it for its optimum safety. It does have a really big recline, but you can't see this in the video here because we can't close up. But there are little guides on the side here that tell you what's the best position. There's within a certain range, best position in terms of recline, and also best position in terms of leg room. And that is one of the other complaints that we often have about extended. Look how far that reclines. Isn't it amazing? I think this has got one of the best reclines of all of the extended rear face seats we've ever looked at. It really does have a massive recline. You can adjust, again, everything on this is super easy. So if you want to adjust the positioning of the seat, it's got a button on the back here, and we can literally just adjust it so it will go in. So you can just adjust wherever you want it. So you want legroom, you just literally move it in. So easy to do, really, really is very, very simple. And if you want to adjust the headrest, again, another slidey button up here. I just need to undo my harness to release that a little bit more. You can make it much bigger. Just release that harness. It's very easy to do. So do ping me my questions if you've got any questions about this. Massive recline on this. Massive, massive recline. I'm going to take all the bits out to show you how big you can make it as well. Question.
So I've got a question from Vanessa this morning. She
Hi,
says,
Vanessa. How are you this morning?
Says, morning, what car seat do you recommend for a car that does not have isofix?
Right, so we have lots of belted options, and most of the extended rear facing do have, they are belted, which means that you can fit them without isofix. They're tethered in the car. So you could have the Mini Kid, which has been one of our best sellers. Really good value for money, and there is an individual video on this on our YouTube channel that you can see how to fit this. Then we've also got some, there is a Move, which is the entry-level model from AxeKid. That fits, again, with tethers, and we also do have a B-Safe. Now, if you want, again, a bigger seat, the B-Safe is a larger seat, and this one will go up to 25 kilos, as will the AxeKid Mini and the Move. And there are individual videos on those, Vanessa, and if you want us to ping back to you afterwards, then we can talk to you about those individually. But yeah, we can find a seat for you, don't worry. It doesn't have to be an isofix one. It's just that this is quite groundbreaking in terms of what it does, which is why we wanted to show you it today.
Karen on YouTube asks,
I forgot to put the SIP on. Okay, just before I forget, when you fit this in the car, you must attach your SIP on the side here, which also reduces impact to the side, which also makes it super, super safe.
Karen on YouTube asks, my friend's sons are forward facing. Why should she keep her son rear facing?
Oh, this is a really hard one. And you know what, Karen, I've been there. I've done that because, you know, when I was always absolutely super strict about safety. Once you know about safety, you can't unlearn it. But it is very, very hard when you've got that peer pressure that everybody else is either not using a seat or using a different seat. Why should you use a rearward facing? Ultimately, it is 5 times safer to have your child rearward facing than it is to have them forward facing. So yes, we understand that your friends may have bought seats that do go forward facing, but the only way that you can get around that is that, you know, you want the safest thing for your child, which I think a lot of people don't realize, particularly if you maybe buy online or you go into a store which is doesn't have specialist trained advisors. If you do have the option, and obviously all the independent nursery stores will be reopening from the 12th of May, the 12th of April, 12th of May, God, please, 12th of April, you will have the option to go into independent stores. They are trained to tell you this information. But I do know that it's very hard. A customer, a lay person will look at it and they'll say, well, this is safe, it's on sale, it must be safe, it must be okay to use. But sadly, there's a huge difference between what is okay and has passed the lowest standard, which may not even be I size, it might be R44, which is quite an old standard now, as opposed to what is the absolute cutting edge in terms of safety, and that's really what it comes down to. But again, I do think it's a case of educating people, and more people now do understand the benefits of rearward facing. There's a load more people, as I said earlier. When I first started selling rearward facing car seats, at the request of actually one of our occupational therapists, amazing woman who was actually Swedish, and she introduced me to rearward facing and said, you know, look, these are really much better for children. So we started stocking them. People looked at me and thought I was absolutely bonkers, literally bonkers. And they would look at me going, no, my child won't like it, as I said. So it is education, And also, some people think rearward facing seats are very expensive, and that also is a barrier. I know, Karen, that sometimes people maybe don't want to spend so much. What I would say is break it down into how long you're going to be using the seat and how much it's going to cost you a day. Now, this AxKid one is a premium model. It's £600, but if you use this for 5 years, and you probably would use it more than 5 years, but if you use it for 5 years, that's 32p a day to keep your child safe. I mean, that's really not a huge amount. But there are cheaper options as well. Going down to the AxKid Move, which will last you up to 6 or 7 years old, is £225. You know, I haven't broken that down into individual prices, but that's probably about 15p a day. So it doesn't have to be expensive. I hope that answers your question, Karen. But if you do want individual advice, please do message us, or we can get back to you later.
I think this is a pram question from Chloe on Instagram. She says, if we ordered around the 12th of April after coming into the store,
yep,
when would the items arrive? I'm due the end of June.
It depends. This is such a difficult question at the moment. It depends on what you want to order, what items you're looking at. And obviously, sometimes you won't know until you come in. The biggest problem that we're having now is that we are going to experience a massive spike in demand. And that is also going to slow down the distribution process. We have tried to anticipate this by having reasonable stocks in our warehouse. We do have a 2,000 square foot warehouse that's pretty full at the moment, but it's impossible to stock every single item. What I would say, sorry, did you say it was Chloe?
This is Chloe, yeah.
Maybe we could just message you afterwards, Chloe, and have a chat and see if we can narrow down the sort of things that you're looking at, and we can give you individual advice if that's okay. Yeah.
And I've got a question from Donna who asks, what is the difference between the mini kid and the Move?
Okay, so the difference between the mini kid and the Move, I haven't finished with this one because I'm coming back to this as well, because I haven't shown you all the amazing features. But the difference between the mini kid and the Move, so it's really about how easy it is to fit. Both of them are really, really safe seats, and particularly, as I said, if you are on a budget, the Move is such good value for money, really. At £225, it's such a bargain. And do look out for offers, which we do have sometimes on these as well. You just have to manually adjust it a bit more. When you're fitting the tethers, do have a look at the instructional video that we've done on our YouTube channel as well. But when you're fitting the tethers, you just have to manually attach them. The headrest is adjusted more manually. It's just less automated, whereas the mini kid is a bit easier to fit. It just adjusts a little bit more easily.
The recline, the harness, everything overall is a little bit more easier to fit if you're going to be
refined. The word I was looking for. It's a little bit more refined.
The Move is a little bit more stripped back if you're looking for something on that sort of like a cheaper price point. Whereas the mini kid, if you've got a child that if you're using the car seat like every single day, because some people will buy some of these car seats for like grandparents.
Yeah, we sell a lot of this for grandparents. Yeah, because they don't necessarily want to spend as much, but they still want a safe seat.
Yeah.
Don't forget as well, if you are moving it from car to car, we do sell extra sets of tethers, which will make your life easier as well. Obviously, if you're moving this one from car to car, you won't need that because it's so super easy to do. So we were talking about the size of it. It can adjust, and there are indicators on the side again, which make it really easy to know. You can't see this now, but there are maximum indicators that will give you the maximum safety. Have a look at those and have a look at the video. It comes with this insert. Now, this insert isn't a newborn insert because this one isn't from birth, but this insert is your probably up to about 3 years old insert, because it's quite important when you have a seat that you don't have too much movement. Part of what makes your seat safe is, and people don't realize this, they often come in and they say, oh, my child's not comfortable because they're squidged in their seat. Actually, the seat is a crash helmet for your child, and you do want it to fit snugly. It's quite important. So we don't want too much rattling around, basically. So when you want to make it bigger for your bigger child, and I just wanted to show you how large this one does actually grow, you take out this insert, which you just gently, it is made of polystyrene, so do be careful how you take it out, because you don't want to snap it. If you do snap it, it's not a safety issue, but it just won't look as nice. You just need to be a bit gentle when you take it out. To release your harnesses, I do like the fact that your harness releases right underneath the seat, so your child couldn't get to it and accidentally adjust the harnesses themselves, which is obviously, you don't want them releasing it and getting out of the seat. So we can take out our insert like this, and then what I wanted to show you is how absolutely huge this seat will grow. If you do have a really big child, you can extend it to there. We can sit it up. If we sit it up as well, and we can bring it back. It is tested to ISO, so it should be a universal fitting, certainly within the average parameters, to fit in car seats. But I know people often do ask us about fitting. At the moment, as you know, we're not allowed to fit car seats because it's part of the whole government thing, but we are hoping by the time that we reopen, this will have changed. There is certainly a fitting list which we can show you and talk to you about. But you could actually, if you wanted to, we talk about legroom a lot in extended rear facing. One of the things that people often mention is how much legroom can you get. All of these seats actually allow a lot of legroom. This one you can adjust very, very simply depending where you are, and you can have your front seat touching the back of this. It's completely fine with all of these seats to actually have your front seats. You don't have to have it touching, but it is fine if you wanted to. And the same with your mini kid and your moves as well, is that when you fit these in the car, you can bring this seat back from the seat to allow legroom. You can bring this back from your front seat so you can have your gap for your legroom, and you can adjust that as long as the seat is sitting on the car. Do have a look at the videos that we've done on these. And the same with our Be Safe. If we look at our Be Safe again, we can give ourselves legroom. And a lot of this you can't do with the rotating seats. They're not designed to do that. I don't know if you can actually see this now, it's hidden behind here. But there is an adjustable base plate on here which you wind out to make it, you can give yourself more space. So you can actually adjust this as well. And the same with this one. One of these is isofix. So this is the Izzy Combi, which is an isofix seat, but it does only go up to 18 kilos. This again is a tethered seat. So the lady that was asking earlier, I can't remember here.
I think it's Karen.
Vanessa was asking about tethered seats, wasn't she?
Yes, and
Vanessa.
Yeah.
So this also can be tethered. So there are lots of options for you in terms of what we can put in your car and tethered.
I think if you're looking for legroom necessarily, I think the Gats Kid gives much more legroom over the Be Safe ones, but especially the Kid that is isofix.
I think if you wind it out, I think that does also give you, I mean, a lot of it is personal preference, but all of the Swedish seats tend to give maximum safety, really are tested to a much higher standard, and you will tend to find that if if safety is really, really important to you, and it should be, then probably you want to be looking for Swedish Plus tested. Also, the other thing to take into account when you're looking at extended rear facing is if your child is already quite large, perhaps they're already on the 75th or even 90th percentile, the chances are your child is going to grow out of an average second stage seat quicker than other children. And the average second stage seat only goes up to 18 kilograms. Now, that might indicate to you that you need a seat that will take a bigger weight of child, one that maybe will go up to 23 like this one, or even 25. Some of these will go bigger, because if you have a heavier child, they could be 18 kilos at, I don't know, 3 years old, but they're too young to go into a forward facing seat or a booster. because they don't have the upper body and neck strength. Even though they might weigh more, they're not strong enough. So this is also another reason why you might want to consider one of these seats that can go rearward facing for longer. And again, this is a question that good independent nursery stores should be asking you when you're purchasing.
So I have a question from Vanessa, who was asking earlier about the extended rear facing without isofix.
Yeah.
Will they fit in most cars? And do you have foot covers to protect seats from muddy footprints?
Yes. Yes to both. So yes, we do. We do have foot cover. Yes, I think there's one at the end here. It's a backseat organizer, but it will protect the feet. And we do also have mats as well. So yeah, we have all of those sort of things. And yes, they will fit in most cars. In fact, tethers, the thing with tethers, it is a little bit more complicated with tethers. You need to know how to tether and how to find your tether points. And I'm really hopeful that once we can open again on the 12th, we'll be able to help you with the fittings of these things, because with a tether, it is a little bit more complicated. There are videos on our YouTube channel. Vanessa, what we'll do is we'll ping you a message later with an indicator to the fitting of how you attach tethers, because it is more complicated to attach a tether. But are you absolutely certain, Vanessa, you don't have isofix? Because we found recently that people who thought they didn't have isofix, when they watched our video, which is also on our YouTube channel, they found that they did have isofix. I'm not saying that you do, but generally most cars that have been made within the last 8 years will have isofix.
So she said earlier that it's the grandparents sadly do not have isofix.
Yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, so in that case, Vanessa, sorry, I didn't see that message, so I do apologize. Yes, we do have seats, and if it's grandparents, well, I would suggest if it's going to stay in their car, let's wait until we can potentially fit it for them, because the thing with tethering, and this is what makes this seat so amazing, is that you do need to make sure that the seat is in properly, and it is a little bit more fiddly. There's more margin for error with this one. I repeat myself? This one is just so easy to fit because it's isofix, but if you're tethering, you just need to make sure it's fitted correctly. That's what I meant to say. Definitely.
Chelsea asks, is the Axkid one eye size?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Chelsea. So not only is it Swedish Plus tested, it's also eye size, and it's R129 as well. So it basically is like every different standard that it could possibly cover, it does conform to. And it is the first one that has passed the Swedish Plus test, as far as I'm aware, that is also isofix. I might be wrong. They can correct me. I think Axkid are watching, aren't they?
They are,
is this
yes.
The first eyesight? Maybe not the first eye size, actually, because I think the Be Safe is. So maybe yes. Chelsea, in answer to your question, it definitely is eye size. Yeah. So we are advising all of our customers now who are buying in store that they should be looking for eye size car seats, because they will be tested to higher standards. Obviously, not everything we sell will be Swedish Plus tested, because some of the infant seats and things like that, generally they haven't been, but they are still eye size, which again would mean that they were safer.
Victoria has asked, how will she know if the Axkid one fits in her car?
So there is a fitting list, so we can check the fitting list for you, and hopefully soon we will also be able to have people to car. But what we've done what we've been doing in the current lockdown period, Victoria, is that if people are buying them, we've been doing fitting videos where we can WhatsApp while you're fitting it in your car, and we can check that it's fitted correctly and that it does fit your car correctly. This one, to be fair, because it's eye size, should fit your car fairly easily, and it is so easy to fit. It's so easy to fit. I'm actually bowled over by how easy this is to fit. I would have had this seat if it had been available when my children were small, because I'm really passionate about car seat safety, but it's also just so easy to fit and move from car to car. And God knows I've had that many car seats. So Axkid say it's the first and only eye size and Swedish Plus test to seat approved up to 125 centimeters and 23 kilograms. So yeah, it is a groundbreaker of a seat. But yeah, it is. I had so many seats because we were moving them from this car and that car and this is just so easy to do. Literally, if you want to take it out, all you have to do, you probably need to just lift the leg up, which you do by pulling this little tag here. You can just lift the leg back up and store it back up. Then if you tension your thing here, just release this, and you can just undo your isofix. Do that one first. There you go. And then you can just literally and it is so light. I actually can literally look, so easy to fit. It really is. I don't know. So I think this is probably one of the easiest car seats to fit we've got.
100%, yeah.
Easy. Really is phenomenally easy. Obviously, don't forget you've got to tension your tensioner. I don't know what you call this. Has it got a special name? Probably tell me. One more click. Anyway, you do have to tension that, but it's very, very easy to fit. So we've run over time again because I do like to waffle on about these things. If you do want to order any of the seats that we feature today, we are going to put a little offer code up on the video now, and that will, if you do order one of these, you can either order it by ringing us, doing it over the phone, you can do it on our website. Within the next 7 days, we will give you a free back protector. As one person asked about back protectors, we'll give you one for free. We'll include it in your car seat just as a little gift from us to you. So that's just a little thank you. So let's have a look where people are watching for.
So just a quick one from AxeKid. They says an ARB, a tensioned rebound board.
Okay, so it's an attention rebound board.
Yes.
Okay, that's a bit of a mouthful, but yeah, at the end of the day, the reason we have this is because we've got the isofix, which means it's fitted into the car and can't move this way. We've now got our rebound board, which means it can't move this way. And we've also got our leg, which means it can't move this way. So it really is super, super safe. This also prevents your child actually being impacted in the back of the seat as well. It's just a brilliant, brilliant seat. Brilliant seat. Love it.
So today we have had Claire, Hannah, Maisie. We've also got Karen, Donna, Shannon, Philippa. Thanks,
Hi,
Philippa. Lisa, Nikki, Kate. We got Rebecca, Melissa, Vicky, Shanice.
Anybody tell us what they're doing for Mother's Day? Nobody wants to tell us what they're doing for Mother's Day.
Maybe they missed the start.
Okay, if you missed the start, we want you to tell us what you're doing for Mother's Day. Is it your first Mother's Day? Tell us. Even if you are watching this on replay, do post and let us know. What are your plans for Mother's Day? It's not perhaps the Mother's Day we would all want. You know, we all want to have big celebrations, and that's just not possible still this year. But what are we doing to celebrate to make Mother's Day special?
So we've also had this morning loads of people watching on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook as well. We've got Chloe, we've got
Vanessa, we've got
Shannon,
Chelsea. I can't see any more than that, so I can only see a few.
We've got Jordan, we've got Sarah, we've got Vanessa, we've got Susan, we've got absolutely tons of people today. Alara, we've got Joanne. Thank you all so much for watching.
No, thank you so much for watching. We do really appreciate you joining us every week on Mondays and Fridays. I hope that you found this helpful. When we did our second stage car seats the other day, it was such a big topic that we really felt we needed to revisit it today. And obviously we didn't have this fantastic new seat from AxeKid at the time, so we didn't have it to feature, and I think it really deserves its whole section. This extended rear facing topic needed a whole live because it is much more complicated. So I hope that by listening in today, we have been able to answer some of your questions about the extended rear facing and why it's better and why you should consider that. If we haven't covered your individual questions, and obviously sometimes we do miss them, we notice afterwards because we've got a bit of a lag when you're asking questions and when we see them. If we have missed anyone, please do message us and we'll go through them afterwards as well, and we can answer them. We have got a team working behind the scenes here. Don't forget, we are still offering virtual appointments, so if you do need any help personally, you can do that. And if you do want to book an appointment from the 12th of April, we can book you in with one of our trained experts where you'll get one-to-one attention from them when you visit the store. We will have limited number of people in the store at any one time, and everything is completely sanitized between visits just to keep obviously everyone safe and obviously give you the best shopping experience that we can. So thank you everyone for joining us today. Do join us again on Monday at 10:59. I'm not sure what Monday's topic is now. I don't know if we've decided what Monday's topic is. I know we do have carriers on the thing, but we're still waiting for some training from Ergo Baby to finally do that to make it absolutely perfect for you. But there's some other things that we've got planned, and we've also got some exciting launches coming. I can't tell you because it's all very secret, but we've had 5 exclusive launches at Baby Lady this year. So we've been able to launch 5 new products here first at Baby Lady. You saw them here first, and there's more coming. There's more coming. We're very, very excited about the new products that are coming. I spent Tuesday planning and talking to people about new products. So it's a terribly exciting time, and we will try really hard to keep you updated with all the latest information. You can also join our newsletter. So if you would like to be updated with that, do ping us across with your email address and we'll add you to our newsletter.
Just quickly before we go, Vanessa has said this will be her first Mother's Day. Hopefully my lovely partner will be organising something special.
Well, I hope so too, Vanessa. You certainly deserve it. And all of those mums who are watching today, you deserve special days. So we hope that you do have a magical day. Whatever you're doing, whoever you're sharing it with, we hope you have a brilliant, brilliant Mother's Day. Thank you for watching today, and we'll see you again really, really soon.